Hi, I'm Jude Hotep. I'm the Conscious Money Coach, your sacred Sherpa on this wild soul journey. What I do is I do one-to-one coaching with my clients, and I have a coaching program, the Conscious Money Creation Coaching Program. I help women entrepreneurs own their goddess and jailbreak their soul and wildcraft more revenue. And we talk about all the things that money brings up, from worth to relationships to just the drama in the brain and what the brain does to listening to our hearts and that difference. And I have a podcast called The Conscious Money Creation on iTunes and Stitcher and Spotify. And I wanted to talk to you about imposter syndrome, and that really pops up for so many people. And we look out into the world, and the thing is when we're in business, we're looking into the world to keep training on what we need to train on. And so we're training and we're looking to people who are in a class ahead to say, we have our class of our peers where maybe they're at the same place in the creation of this, like maybe somebody's doing their podcast in the same way and then I can look to somebody like Joe Rogan, who has 20 million followers on his podcast, and coming into his podcast with already his background and the many shows and MMA and all these things he's done that that bring a different element to when you're just starting a podcast by yourself. So I can look out into the world, but if I look out into the world and then compare and despair, that great saying, because it helps you to click in and be like, oh, what it is with what we're seeing all the time is we're seeing our colleagues out in the world. We're not working in an office building where everybody's dressed in a suit of some sort and you're going into an office and you have fluorescent lights and it's very sterile and it's not very happy place. At least not for me. It's not my ideal work environment at all, ever. But I've always been like, I'll just try this whole new business I've never tried before and start selling self-defense supply equipment. I've always been a coach in so many capacities, just off and on. And I had so much reluctance to really just being like, yes, I'm diving into life coaching because I'm a metaphysician. It's always been my passion and what I've done my whole life and my true interest and desire. But self-development has too. Like, how do you really not be at the mercy of your circumstances or your own brain that is trying to help you, but it's not very helpful because it's trained through cultural conditioning to not serve your heart and to not be the empty vessel for your heart. But the mind is supposed to be an empty vessel for the heart. It comes later, after the heart, after your intuition, your gut, your knowingness. So getting back to being an entrepreneur and looking out into the world, it's great to look out to people for inspiration. Walter Goggins is it Walter? Wait, I think that's an actor. He's like one of my favorite actors. There's another Goggins, David Goggins. So you look to him and it's wildly inspiring and yes, I can get up and move. So it's okay, if I don't want to exercise, I might put a podcast of him on for 5 minutes, be okay, I'm getting my ass up and I'm exercising. Yes. But it's I'm not going to use that to be here, I need to do this step-by-step process of loading up my podcast for today and then writing it and then it being beautiful. And I want, for me, you can do it all different ways, but I go put myself into a place of joy and inspiration to write something and channel something that's really going to come through for the highest for my clients. How can I really help them? How can I serve them? What's beautiful and scratching the itch for me to create and design that I'm loving in my life? It's got to be for me too. I'm a person here doing this. It's got to be what I love to talk about, but also serving my clients in some way, right? So I have to get into that space to create that. But so I don't go to Goggins to look for inspiration to create that, because then I'd be I gotta get going. This should be done already. Oh my gosh. And it's no, there's a process here. I have to write it, to revise it, and then edit it, and then perform it, and work on the performance aspects of a podcast episode. And so it's there's these step-by-step processes. So when you're doing your program and you're launching your program and you see people out in the world launching a very similar program to you, they're not the you. And what it is that there's two things here. They're your colleagues, they're not your audience. So it's the number one thing. Okay, so for imposter syndrome, they're your colleagues, they're not your audience. Look to them for inspiration, guidance, support, love, ideas, being in the possibility, knowing it's all possible. Don't look to other people for, if you're feeling you can't do it, that's time to look within, not without. If you're feeling like you can't do it, you have to go in and see what's the transmission that only I can offer. And that's the second piece to imposter syndrome. There's a transmission from your divine genius that only you can bring in this life that might be on the same topic. You might do business coaching. I don't do business specific coaching. I do, making more money, but not specifically like you should do these action pieces in your business. I know a lot can help you, but that's not what's gonna actually help you. Beliefs. What dumb shit is your brain believing? That's not the real you. That's what we work on. We make more money. And that's what makes you more money. Because you can do the same actions and not make more money depending on what your mind is doing and if you're believing it. And sometimes we do. We do believe it. We don't want to, and we're trying not to, but we believe it. So that's what we do in coaching, right? So when you're looking out into the world and you're not feeling that confidence that you want to feel, we need to go internal and look at what we're thinking and feeling and do the mindset work that I teach in my coaching program. And one of the best things you can do is do a brain dump, 1 page or a large paragraph, get it all out of your brain of all the doubts and so forth. Then do the other side of the coin. Do a brain dump, large paragraph or 1 page of why your beautiful work is actually, what are you bringing to the world that only you can bring? How is yours different? So if you're a business coach and someone else is a business coach and you're kind of seeing all their stuff, first of all, stop watching all of their stuff. They're your colleague, they're not your audience, okay? And yes, sometimes we are each other's audiences also, but we're not, we're in an office building and it's water cooler. You're over the water cooler, you're looking out at their stuff and enjoying their creations, but what's your creation? And come back into you. Why were you put here on this earth to be this divine transmission of your genius that only can come through you in a certain way? Maybe very similar to somebody else's stuff, but somebody else will resonate with you and they won't resonate with them because of your personality, because of your life experiences, because of what you've been through that helps them through what they've been through. And it's like only you two can really have that beautiful relationship and powerful, help them transform with your work. So when it comes to imposter syndrome, there's a transmission that only comes from you, that only you can bring. And doing the journaling of like, what's my real heart? What was the original intent of this program that I'm launching that I'm feeling a little insecure about because I'm a human with a brain? What thought is causing that insecurity? So let's find that thought. Our thoughts generate our emotions, right? So let's find that thought. Let's go in the heart and ask our higher selves in our heart and go into the body and say, okay, do I feel like this program's amazing? Okay, yes. Do I feel like I did my amazing best work on it? Okay, yes. Do I have a vision and things I want to do and perfect in the future? Of course, right? But is this amazing right now? Yes. Okay. And is this going to really help people? Yes. Is it serving people? Yes. Okay. And so you go into, so just remind yourself and then write about what was the original excitement. What was okay, so this is the amazing mindset work that you do after you get the junk out, after you go into your heart and check in with your higher self that this is all exactly what you're supposed to be doing and it's amazing and it's great, and stop looking at other people's stuff and then do the other side of the coin, brain dump, large paragraph to a page of what was the original intent, what was the original excitement behind wanting to do this, what was the original like, oh my god, this is going to be so amazing and this is why I want to do this and this is how it's going to look, and the vision that you originally had and the excitement. Tap into that original excitement for it, the original joy, the original like curiosity and interest and wonder about it. Like, I wonder how people are going to change and grow and transform from this, and I wonder how this could help somebody, and I wonder how that could help somebody, and I wonder how I could write this in just such a beautiful way that I love, and I wonder how the video can look beautiful, and I wonder how this can be and that can be, and all these components, right? The original excitement for it. Tap into that, bring that up, and then go launch. So imposter syndrome, it's the people around you that they're your colleagues, not your audience, and then go within and tap into the transmission that can only come from you. So tap into the original intent for what you're creating and doing and why you wanted to put that out into the world, and really tap into the transmission that only you can bring. and put that forward with your joy and your love and your excitement and your curiosity and your confidence of knowing that you are a badass, that you know your shit, that you know the beautiful light that you're creating in the world and that you're offering and that helps people. So that's what I have for you today about imposter syndrome. If you are interested in going deeper with this work, untangling the mind and just jailbreaking your soul, making more money, making more revenue, get into a discovery coaching session with me over at lifecoachjude.com. You can book that. And I also have my podcast, iTunes, Stitcher, everywhere. It's called the Conscious Money Creation Podcast. I just do a lot. I do poetry slams on there. I do a lot of fun stuff, themes, funky stuff. I do some serious things. So there's just a lot of different creative things on there. So I hope you really like that. And then I have a Facebook group for women called the Wild Soul Journey on Facebook. And the last thing is I have a YouTube channel called the Conscious Money Creation as well. So you can look up the YouTube channel. And this video will be there as well as LinkedIn if you're seeing that. But I put some fun like hand balancing things there, and I'm going to keep kind of getting creative with it and probably doing a lot of my circus. I'm a circus artist, so I'm going to probably keep doing a lot of circus artist videos there for fun and creativity and self-expression, and really modeling for you to also bring your fun, unique self out into this beautiful world. I'm sending you so much love. I really appreciate you being here. I will talk to you next time.